Y'all, living with bipolar is freaking hard. So, I made this post. It was either yesterday or this morning, honestly. I kind of lost track of time at this point. Talking about how I felt like I was suddenly Dr. Jekyll instead of Mr. Hyde. And I really don't think I'd used that analogy before, and something about it stuck with me about how life living with bipolar and generalized anxiety disorder is. You see, I feel genuinely like I have two people living inside of me. I have the normal day-to-day forward who is positive and wants to see everyone succeed and wants to help people and believes in togetherness and companionship. And then there is the emotional pained side of me that looks at everyone as a potential threat, a potential enemy, that doesn't believe that he is able to do much of anything in the world that's presented to him because emotionally nothing makes sense in the world. And so I wanted to kind of like combine all this stuff and talk about it a bit. So I have spoken in the past about your emotional side of your brain versus the logical side of your brain. So basically, when anything happens, doesn't matter what it is, it can be as simple as somebody walks up to you and says hello. That triggers a response in your brain. Now, what you're going to react with first and foremost is pure emotion, because the part of your brain that governs emotion is always activated first when responding to a stimulus. Now, why is that? It's very simple. Fight, flight, or freeze. It's the fight, flight, or freeze response. That's quite simply what it is. Your emotions are tied to that. Because theoretically, if it weren't, let's rewind back, hundreds of years before we were quote-unquote civilized people, and let's face it, in a lot of ways we're far more uncivilized in civilization, but I digress. When humanity was in its beginning stages and we were hunter-gatherers or just forming societies, we were under constant threat of death from everything. Everything in nature was a potential threat, whether it be as simple as a mosquito passing disease or a lion that's going to eat you up. You always had to be afraid. Nowadays, if you see a lion, it's usually in a cage at the zoo. So we don't necessarily need to be looking at everything in that same manner. However, human evolution doesn't just end change. It takes hundreds upon thousands of years to develop new adaptations, new mutations, and grow into the form of person that needs to fit that societal makeup. And unfortunately, there is society, there is biology, and they're not on the same level yet. Now, one of the things about this is the nature of genetic diversity, which is really built into the way nature works. And the fact that I react differently than other people to situations is not necessarily mean that I am a problem or I am not the way that I'm supposed to be. There is simple logic to genetic diversity. Not everything that is different is inherently an issue or a problem here. However, because I am not the norm, I have to struggle more because my pieces are out of balance. I can't face tasks in the same way that other people can, because I am more predisposed to be enveloped in a cloud of emotional darkness, essentially, is the easiest way to put it. Is that anything, literally anything, it can be as simple as fear of making a phone call. It can be as simple as somebody says something to me about what I'm wearing, and I was very proud of that, and then they say something negative about it, and it triggers that emotional part of myself within the kind of cognitive dissonance, in a sense, of you form this feeling of I am going to stick with this thing is going to be what makes me strong. So let's say it's my outfit, and honestly I bring that up because a lot of times lately that is it. Ever since I got in touch with my gender expression, I feel so much better putting on an outfit that makes me feel pretty, that makes me feel beautiful, that makes me feel like somebody. And there's few things in the world that make me feel better than when I share that and somebody says, oh my gosh, that's really pretty on you, or that makes you look cute, or I love your outfit. That's like I may as well be a dog and you're rubbing my belly and I'm just like, I love it. That's what it's like. But the flip side of that is if I've put so much of myself in, when I put so much of myself into that, because that is what is helping me to feel a standard of confidence in myself to help build me up. If somebody knocks that down, that's not just an attack on that outfit. That's an attack on me as a person. Now, am I taking things too far? Probably, but I also can't help it. You know, I work every day to get stronger, but it's very hard. And when I started the Femboy Progress Blue Sky account, I kind of hoped that this side of me, this negative side of me, I guess you could call this Dr. Jekyll side of me, would just not be a thing I'd have to put in there. Ever. And not have to show it. And obviously I'm here doing this and talking about this, and I'm going to share it everywhere. And I think the reason behind that is that if I try to bury it, I am basically burying who I am, burying myself. So, like, there was a organization in the 80s called ACTA. It was an AIDS organization that spoke about silence equals death. Silence equals death, because, like, if we do not speak about AIDS, AIDS will kill us. And if I do not speak about the realities of mental health in the modern world, it will consume me, it will kill me, it will take me under. By being open about this, I can cope with it more, and we can hopefully come together a little bit more and understand each other. Because I don't ever want to be the Dr. Jekyll inside of me. I'm scared of that person. And therefore, it kind of makes me scared of my emotions to an extent. And that's a thing that I constantly work on. Because I don't deal well with anger, hate, all that stuff. And, for example, you know, like, I live in America, and I'm a gay, genderqueer, anti-capitalist living in America in 2025. I kind of fear for my life as a general state of being. I don't say everything that I want to say because I'm afraid to. Because I'm afraid for my life. And that's a constant thing that I have to deal with. And it's a constant pressure. that I have to deal with right now. So it's like I have something constantly pressing on my brain, triggering the anxiety, triggering the negativity, triggering the emotion because of fear. And I know how it sounds at this point, but like, Yoda was right, y'all. Like, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Like, it's real. It's not just a thing in a movie, it's fucking real. Fear is the biggest thing that will work against us, and it's the thing I'm trying to fight back against the most, because fear does make me angry, because, like, I am afraid. And I'm seeing people suffer, and I'm suffering. And the only way it feels like sometimes to make it stop is to resort to those negative impulses, you know, to lash out. And every time that I do that, every time that I just explode in a, I don't even know what to call it, but like explode in this cloud of emotional, just trying to get it out of me and get catharsis, I feel like all I end up doing is making it seem like I'm this unstable freak who nobody should trust or listen to, or like I'm less than. And I have felt less than my entire life, ever since I was a young kid being bullied on the school bus just because I looked a little different than them, and I didn't want to be big bad, use my macho-ness or whatever. I've always been treated as an inferior human being. I've always felt like an inferior being pretty much ever since I was old enough to even think. And you get tired of it. Like, I think I've only been happy, like truly happy, less than a quarter of my life. And it's what I am fighting so hard right now to get back to. Because I don't take a potion to become Dr. Jekyll. It's literally my brain. It's like there's a switch in my brain, and if it gets triggered, then I'm going to fall into a spiral. And the biggest thing from that is that I don't ever want people to experience my anger, because that's not fair to you guys. My anger shouldn't exist. I tried to purge myself of all my anger, and I used to be so good at it, and after the attacks, I lost that. I lost my ability to, because I lost my ability to believe. And I have all this knowledge in the world. You know, I have a fucking degree in sociology, and I've studied so much social science, even outside of school, on my own stuff. And I know so much, but with all my knowledge, it doesn't just make it all go away. Like, it's kind of like you have the answers, but the answers themselves don't make things go just happen. I've said this expression before, and I'm going to say it again. Knowledge is not power. The expression knowledge is power is bullshit. Knowledge plus belief in that knowledge is power. And the thing is that it's hard for my brain to truly accept and truly believe again. Once upon a time I did. I had a community. I had a place where people believed. And I believed that I was in a safe space. And I believed that I could use my knowledge and my experiences to help make the world a little bit of a better place in this way. And when that was met with pure, unbridled hate and terror, my brain struggles to hold on to it. You know, it's why I don't think I can ever go back to the BronyCon scene, because, you know, I tried two after everything happened, and I never could feel right. Like, I went back, and twice, and both times I went back, broke records for charity auctions and helping people, and that still isn't enough for this. So that's the struggle of life that I lead, is trying to find ways to believe again. I have found new friends. They're honestly really fucking awesome people. And I feel bad, like, because I wanted to be able, for them to be able to see, like, this better side of me, like, the real me, and not have to see when I get all weird and upset and sad and all this. But my anger, my sadness, my pain is a part of who I am. I don't like that it's a part of who I am, but if I deny that, I deny myself. And if you deny yourself, you can never truly get healthy. There is a concept that was explored in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde about the duality of man. And it's crazy because in general, I don't tend to believe in things like good versus evil. However, I do believe in emotion versus logic. And a lot of times we all do things out of emotion that we regret later. And the biggest thing is to be able to remind ourselves that, hey, logic hasn't kicked in yet. And it's why when everything happened and I had my mental breakdown, that I went away and told people not to talk to me. I literally didn't trust myself. And the last thing I wanted to do was to hurt people unintentionally. So I pulled myself away from everybody. And I'm sure that wasn't healthy, but at the same token, it was better for me mentally than knowing that I said or did things that hurt people. And, you know, even making this, like, I'll be honest, I'm sitting here right now and I feel like the most pathetic piece of shit on the planet. And I don't know what this video will mean or do or anything, but I don't know, I just thought about talking about it, because if we don't talk about these things, nothing can change. And my whole goal and everything I've ever done with KFM has been about understanding one another so we can be closer as people, as a society, so we're not always hurting each other. And fear and emotion is 100% where it lies. And it's very hard for me, after everything that's happened, to not be afraid. And it's probably the biggest thing I've been trying to work on, is getting to a place where I can be me and present myself without fear. And it's very, 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 very hard. I have a lifetime of experience in pain. It's kind of like that's my baseline, is being in constant pain. So I guess it makes sense that when everything went down, that's where I went back to. I think I'm just going to post this, and it's probably not going to be as coherent as I would have liked this to have been when I turned on the camera. But maybe that's the point, is life is complicated, and it's hard for myself, or I'm sure plenty others like me, when you are essentially under the shroud of depression from an emotional trigger. It's very hard to even think straight. Like, just think properly, to get your thoughts in order so you can actually communicate what you mean. And that's probably one of the most frustrating things here, is that in turn makes it feel like nobody understands you, because you're unable to articulate in words what this terrible feeling inside of you is. And I'm gonna keep working and fighting it. And I know others are struggling, and that's more than anything else why I do this, why I put this stuff out there, because, I mean, I've said this before. If this all helps somebody out there, then at least this lifetime of pain was somewhat worth it. I'll deal with it as long as I can help people. So anyway, I love you all. I really hope everyone is keeping friendship magic out there. I'm probably going to go cry for a little bit. And try to move on with my day. But I felt the need to get all this out. I don't know if it even means anything. It's just, it's there. So I love you guys.